Hey, welcome to another episode of the High Value Man podcast. I'm really excited to be back with you for another week. I am your host, Eston Swaby. Today, I want to talk to you about freedom is a choice, right? And breaking free from the old patterns and mindsets, right? And the reason why I came up with this topic is because I was reading a Facebook post, right? And in that post, it was a cartoon, right? And in that cartoon, there was a bird and there was a lady, right? And the lady had the key in her hand and she opened the cage because the bird was in a cage. And the lady said to the bird, "The cage is now open. You can now fly out." And you would have think that the bird would have flown out, right? Because it is now free. Bird is now seeing the possibility of freedom. Maybe for years the bird have been in that cage, locked in that cage, right, eating scraps, right, and dreaming about the day that it would finally be free and be able to soar in the open sky with other birds, right? Go where it wants to go, eat what it wants to eat, go, right? Live where it wants to live, right? But that was not the case. The bird responded by saying, "This is all I have ever known. The cage is all I've ever known, so I'm not going to fly out," right? And that reminds me of many of us, right? And this topic came about at a very good time because for the past couple days I've really been thinking about patterns and talking about patterns and social media, right? Many of us, we repeat the same patterns, right? We keep going around in circles, right? Sometimes it's a new year. Now it's 2024, but if you look back over 2024, you'll probably seen patterns from 2023, right? Some of us, we keep getting back in the same relationships, right? New body, new faces, new names, right? But when we look at the relationship, it looks like the last couple relationships we have been in, right? If some of you are really honest, right, you would realize that maybe the financial situation that you are in, that it didn't just started this year. You have been in the same situation for years. You have been at the same spot for years. Yes, maybe sometimes you like there are some ups, but soon after there are some ups, there are some downs. So it's like a cycle. You keep going around in circles, right? And so what is familiar to us, right? We'll seek it out. If a certain relationship is what you have, all you have known is abuse. All you have known is being in a relationship where you were not valued, right? Abusive relationship. That's all you have known. Maybe you have desire for a loving relationship, but guess what happened? Until you break the pattern, until you heal, until you start shifting your mindset, right? Until you start breaking those patterns, you are going to keep attracting those same relationships. You are going to keep getting in other relationships and it looks similar. Maybe it started off nice, but then soon after, you're going to realize that, hey, I've been here before, right? Maybe it's financial, right? You are in a new job, right? You're making a lot more money than you are making. Maybe you're making cheaper what you used to make, right? And you'd have think that, okay, your financial situation would be different because now you are making more money. You used to struggle financially. You used to struggle to provide for your family, and so now you're making more money. You think that yes, you would be in a better position to take care of your family. But guess what happened? Soon after, you start struggling financially again. Same thing in if you have a business, right? The reason why we keep going around in circles, right? is because that is what is familiar to us. We rise to what is familiar. We fall to what is familiar to us, not to our potential, not to our dreams, our goals, but to our beliefs and what is familiar to us. Right? God can give you freedom, but unless you accept that freedom, you will remain in bondage. And many of us as men, we are in bondage. We keep repeating the same patterns, right? The patterns from our forefathers, the patterns from our father. Your father was addicted, had an addiction, and now you also have an addiction. It might not be the same thing. Maybe your father was addicted to alcohol, but now you're addicted to work, right? And so we keep repeating that is because of what is familiar to us, right? Maybe you grew up in a negative home environment, right? Unless you heal from that and break the patterns, right? Shift your mindset, do some inner work, your home environment is going to look just like that. Because that is what you know. We adapt the beliefs and perceptions of those around us. Right? And so today I want to challenge you to start looking at what are the patterns that you have been experiencing in your life. Awareness is the first key. You have to become aware. Right? And one way you can start becoming aware is start looking at what keeps coming up for you. The reason why those things keep coming up for you is because you need to pay attention to it. You need to start paying attention to those patterns. They are coming up for you for a reason. They're not just coming up, right? There's a reason why you keep getting in the same relationships, right? There's a reason why you keep having financial problems. There's a reason why maybe you are in ministry, right? And there's a roller coaster. Like this minute you are up and you are functioning effectively, powerful in your ministry, and then soon after you are complacent. Soon after you are not functioning anymore. There's a reason. And so you have to become curious of your patterns. Why do I keep repeating the same mistakes? Why am I attracting the same type of relationships? Different names and bodies, but same mess. Same, right? Why do I keep attracting the same situations, same problems month after month? Right? You have to get curious, guys. Right, curious about your patterns and cycles. If you feel like you are just going around in circles, then it's for a reason. Right, your patterns keep showing. I'm going to say it again. Your patterns keep showing up for a reason. Right, and one of that reasons is because you have a fear-based belief around that. Right, and so that's why you keep repeating. Maybe it's the belief that you are not worthy. Right, you are not worthy of love. You are not worthy of success. So if you don't believe that you are worthy of love, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to keep attracting women that doesn't value you, women that basically broken relationships. If you don't think that you are worthy of success, worthy of money, worthy of happiness, then you're going to keep attracting hardship, problems, and so forth in your life. Right? And so the patterns. So get curious and identify what the patterns are. What are those patterns? What keep coming up for me? Right? Then identify what is the belief. What am I believing about myself, about the situation, about what I deserve, what I'm worthy of, why I keep repeating the same patterns. What is that belief? and then get to the root. What is the root cause of it? What happened in the past that created this belief? Maybe your mother, your parents got divorced when you were young, and you thought that it was your fault. Right? You blame yourself for your parents getting a divorce, and so you feel unworthy, not good enough. Created a belief that I'm not good enough. There's something that is wrong with me. Right? And so that could cause you to chase after success, chase after love, to feel good enough, to feel as if to counter that belief that there's something wrong with you. Right? Maybe there is something that your teacher said. Right? So get to the root of it. What is the root? What caused that belief, and what that caused that pattern? So awareness is the first step. Right? Identifying the belief. Right? Identifying the root cause of it. And you have to challenge the belief. Right? Beliefs are basically made up stories. Right? Beliefs are stories. Well, not all of them are made up, but beliefs are stories that we tell ourselves. Some of those stories are true, some of them are not. So that means that you have the power to choose what you believe. You have the power to choose what you believe. Right? And you need to choose to let go of what is familiar. That's another step. Choose to let go of what is familiar. And this is where the real work begins, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be hard work. Because guess what? You have been programmed or conditioned for many years to have that, to hold on to that belief, right? That belief is like a cage. Right? That's why a Jamaican national hero, Marcus Garvey, said that you have to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Not just physical slavery, but mental slavery. Because some of us has become slave to a certain belief, to a certain lifestyle, to a certain pattern. So you have to emancipate yourself from that. Right? So if you have been in toxic relationships, you have to actively choose to stay out of those relationships. So identify, right, look at those patterns in those relationships. Right? Start getting curious about, like, dissecting those relationships. Right? So that you can start seeing the signs and staying away from those relationships. Right? You don't have to settle for what you are used to. Let me repeat that. You don't have to settle for what you are used to. Right? You can choose something else. Right? Now that you have decided to let go of those of what is familiar, you have to create new patterns. Freedom doesn't just happen on its own. You have to actively create new healthy patterns. Right? This means stepping out of your comfort zone and practicing new habits. That could be learning to say no. Even when you want to say yes, it's going to feel awful at first. Right? But you have to actively choose that. Right? And you have to also remember that healing is an inside game. Right? So you have to not only work on the external, but you have to work on the internal. Right? You have to heal from those wounds. Right? As they are going to keep surfacing, they are going to keep show up in different ways. And you have to surround yourself with positive influences, persons that have the lifestyle, the money, the relationships, right? Whatever it is that you want, surround yourself with those persons. Because what happened, their beliefs, their actions, their behavior, their habits is going to start rubbing off on you. And then you are going to notice that you desire better for yourself. Right? And you're going to start taking different steps. Right? And a final step is to seek help, get help, hire a coach, hire someone who can help you. Right? For example, That's something that I help men with, right? To identify the patterns and to break the patterns, so that they can walk powerfully in their purpose and calling. And so, if you need help with that, I'm available, right? Book a call with me. Let's have a conversation, right? And so, as I end this episode, right, remember that freedom is a choice. You have to choose freedom, right? Do not go into 2025 and beyond with the same patterns. Decide to break those patterns. Decide that you want better for yourself. You want better for your family. Right? So thank you again for watching this, for listening to this episode. Please share it with your friends. Please share it on social media. Please tell someone. Please subscribe to this podcast. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again another episode. Thank you guys. Bye.